The sun had just set over the distant mountains, casting an orange glow on the forest floor. A group of travelers stood at the edge of the ancient forest, their eyes fixed on the towering trees that loomed before them. They had come from far and wide, each with their own reason for seeking the wisdom of the forest oracle. At the head of the group stood a tall, muscular warrior with a fierce look in his eyes. His name was Kale, and he had sworn to protect the group at all costs. He had a reputation for being fearless and unyielding, and the other travelers had put their trust in him to lead them safely through the treacherous forest. As they began to make their way into the woods, Kale took the lead, his sword at the ready. The travelers followed closely behind, their eyes darting nervously from side to side as they looked for any signs of danger. The forest was dense and full of ancient trees, their gnarled roots snaking across the forest floor like writhing serpents. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, and the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot. Despite the eerie silence, the travelers pressed on, their curiosity driving them deeper into the forest. They had heard stories of the forest oracle, a wise and all-knowing entity that could answer any question and provide guidance on even the most difficult of problems. As they continued on their journey, Kale became increasingly agitated. His grip on his sword tightened, and he began to mutter to himself under his breath. The other travelers noticed his strange behavior but said nothing, assuming that he was simply on edge from the danger of the forest. But as they drew closer to the oracle's domain, Kale's true intentions began to reveal themselves. He had his own reasons for seeking out the wisdom of the oracle, and he was willing to do anything to achieve his goals. As the travelers approached a clearing in the forest, they saw the oracle's abode, a small hut made of woven branches and thatched with leaves. Kale led them inside, his eyes fixed on the figure of the oracle, who sat cross-legged in the center of the room. The oracle was an old, wizened creature with a long white beard and piercing blue eyes. He regarded the travelers with a calm detachment, waiting for them to state their questions. One by one, the travelers approached the oracle, seeking guidance and advice on their various problems. The oracle listened patiently, offering words of wisdom and comfort to each of them. But as Kale stepped forward to ask his question, the atmosphere in the room changed. The oracle's eyes narrowed, and his expression grew stern. Kale seemed unfazed by the sudden shift, and he asked his question with a quiet intensity. The oracle regarded Kale for a long moment, his eyes searching for some hidden meaning in the warrior's words. But Kale's intentions were clear, and the oracle knew that he had to act quickly to protect the other travelers. With a sudden burst of energy, the oracle rose from his seat and began to chant a series of ancient incantations. The hut began to shake, and the travelers looked on in horror as the walls began to collapse around them. But Kale was undeterred. He drew his sword and charged at the oracle, his eyes blazing with a fierce determination. The other travelers watched in shock as Kale and the oracle engaged in a fierce battle, each determined to emerge victorious. As the dust settled and the smoke cleared, it became clear that Kale had been defeated. His body lay on the ground, his sword shattered and his eyes were glazed over, the light of life extinguished from them. The other travelers gathered around his fallen form, mourning the loss of their protector and wondering what had driven him to such extreme measures. The oracle explained that Kale had been seeking a powerful magic artifact, one that would grant him immense power and allow him to rule over the land. The oracle had seen through Kale's facade and knew that he was willing to do anything to obtain the artifact, including betraying and sacrificing his fellow travelers. The other travelers were shaken by this revelation, but they also felt a sense of relief that they had been spared from Kale's treachery. They thanked the oracle for his guidance and protection and promised to use their newfound knowledge wisely. As they made their way back through the forest, the travelers reflected on the lessons they had learned. They realized that sometimes the greatest danger comes not from external threats, but from those who walk among us with hidden agendas and ulterior motives. And though they mourned the loss of Kale, They also knew that they had come out of the experience stronger and wiser, with a newfound respect for the power of the ancient forest and the wisdom of its oracle. Thank you for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button.